Let's begin. I want to basically talk about influence in leadership. And looking at all that I'm supposed to do, I decided to produce an integrated presentation. I put so many things together to form one narrative. Okay? And basically, what you're going to experience in the next maybe 40 minutes or so is actually a blend, right, that will cover influence, management, leadership, and basically leadership styles, leadership approach, and all of it will be in context with what we face over here. It will be contextualized. It will be something that we can relate with in sub-Saharan Africa, in Nigeria, and it's that kind of thing. Well, the approach I've used for putting this material together is basically an overview. So there's nothing that will be too deep for you. Nothing that, what I mean is everything will be easy to assimilate. And especially because of the diverse audience we have. We have lawyers and we have biochemists and travel agents. We have that kind of diversity in here. So it will be easy to appreciate. It's another thing about the style I'll be using. Will be basically talking more, sharing stories, but you will never forget them. The idea here is to leave you with memories you can always recall. And so you can expect to be really, really at ease as I just gist from one place to the other and then kind of make my point. And my aim altogether is to create something in you. And if you already have it, is to increase basically an appreciation, right, for leadership and much more your courage, to build courage for how you integrate and the many other things you can integrate leadership into. Now, I also have to be careful because the course we are studying is, for me, a lifelong experience. So my concern is to make sure we don't get into a well that is too deep, that takes too much time. So I'm much more concerned about saying things with the conciseness it needs to have. My point is, once you get the point, we're done. Does that make sense? Now, what's our take home? What will you take home? What will you take home? Well, basically, it's along the lines of integration. You're going to be using leadership for much more than you used it for. There's going to be an approach concerning how you run your home, how you run your business, how you run moments together with your staff, with your company you're going to start. The lawyers have companies they plan to start, don't they? Lawyers. We were just Nigeria currently. Nobody's just one thing. There are presidents that have cattle. This is so. Let's begin the course, right? So let me start with the basic definition of leadership. Now, the thing about leadership is that you're touching a hydra-headed subject, and in fact, the constant and the great debate, as you will see, concerning leadership now, is on the morality of leadership in itself, and I'll get to the definition in a bit. What I'm trying to paint out is, if you have ever read a book about leadership, no matter what book you have read, you're in a school concerning leadership. You're in a school of thought. That's all you are. You're in a school of thought. If you maybe have read the Maxwells on leadership, you're in a school of thought concerning leadership. If you have read the John Adair's on leadership, you're in a school of thought. Monroe on leadership, powerful subject, you're in a school of thought. And basically, if you have read Machiavelli on leadership, you're in a school of thought. If you have read the Greens on whatever books he wrote on leadership, you're in a school of thought. And currently, there's an argument all over the world concerning the morality of leadership, in the sense that, would you call Hitler a leader? You understand what I'm saying? And then would you call the British Prime Minister at the time when the war was happening, Churchill, Winston Churchill. So it's easier for you to look to Winston Churchill as a leader, right? But then you have Hitler and you have Mussolini. And if you say, for example, no, Hitler was not a leader. How did he lead World War II? Okay, so the question will be, is there such a thing as a bad leader? So that you say that there's leadership, therefore there is bad leadership. There's infectious leadership, there's coercive leadership. So are you getting the point? There's a spectrum. So basically, what I'm saying is that there still is an ongoing definition for what leadership stands for. So whatever definition you have is only the discussion as it improves. But all discussions will have certain tenets inside it. And so I'll give you one. I think it's very, comprehensive. So leadership is an influence relationship among leaders and followers who intend real changes and reflect their mutual purpose. Leadership is an influence relationship among leaders and followers who intend real changes and reflect their mutual purpose. Now, this is a big way or a long way of, I just wish the slides came. It would have been so lovely. I repent. You'll see slides next time. But this is a big way of saying that the way leadership works is that it's an influence relationship. So keyword, influence. Keyword, relationship. Keyword, leaders. Keyword, followers. Because as it follows, leadership currently, or leadership as we have known, as we have come to know, is the block word that involves certain groups. One of these groups is the leader, and the other group is the follower. That means when you say leadership now, what you mean is leadership, leader, leadership, followers. Because it is impossible for leadership to occur without consent from followership. So when you see, for example, they say maximize the leader in you, build the leader in you, and when they say you're spurring or increasing leadership capacity across institutions, it becomes important for you to see that even that janitor needs to understand leadership, because the truth of the matter is, does he follow? He leads. He leads. And if you can't see how the janitor can boycott that whole institution, then there's not much you know. It's true that it's the gecko that stays, African proverb, in the palace of the king. What those people know, those people are the rump of those are the end of any institution. What they know, you'll be surprised. They know the day you are fired. They know before you. They clean. So they check files. They have knowledge. You'll be surprised. They know. They are around the offices. They have those people can bring in business or keep out business. Their attitudes. It's always interesting. You walk into an institution. So this is one of those scenarios as we develop this. You walk into an institution. You find senior management, all cultured, all right, all sharp, you just see them, you know that yes. Did you study in Harvard like my friend here, who's international degrees and all those people? Has the session finished? Oh no, it's just look out, you just hear the voice, the melody, you know she's schooled abroad. Okay. Then the same institution, as you just come from the corridors of power, from senior management, they're just moving down and you just move and then you find, other management, or no management, you find those people. You see their communication, ras, their talk, dry. You immediately spot the dichotomy happening right here, right? And then many times people don't make the connection that what these people are going to do is sabotage this whole thing because of where they've not gone before. And truth be told, I look out for a management institution that caters for those kind of people. From gatesmen coming up, that can come in, sit down, and look at life differently, look at what they're doing differently, because nobody will have peace until everybody understands that when you say leadership, you mean both leader and follower. Problem, I have to leave this one and go away, because problem with me is too many examples. I told you, lifelong experience. This is why husband and wife be from planet. They, in fact, well traveled, they go to places. The person that will sabotage you is the house help that is never included in this mind shift. It's the house help and gate man, and the group of people that live in that triangle that import a different culture into the management you're building. So basically, so you get the point, right? In all this, my explanation. So you've got among leaders and followers who intend real changes and reflect their mutual purpose. Part of one of the definitions, let me just dwell here a bit. Part of the challenge of the definition of leadership is the point influence. Is that we know that all leadership will have some kind of influence. Good influence, bad influence, coercion, manipulation. The real question is, what makes this particular exercise the right leadership experience? Why? What makes this legitimate? Right? And what makes it legitimate is that word mutual purpose. Mutual purpose. Mutual purpose. Under that word mutual purpose is where you have things like vision, it's like where you have things like, what that means is this. Part of that earlier argument I gave concerning the morality of leadership is this. If you say, for example, John Maxwell's great keyword on leadership was the word, he said, leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. And not only John Maxwell, there's quite a number of authors who have actually generalized that, look, the sum of all that is happening in leadership is influence. Okay? So another school of thought actually thinks that, okay, no, this may be a fallacy. This may not be entirely correct. But the reason they think it's a fallacy is not because the statement isn't correct. It's actually because of the implication of that statement. The implication of that statement that leadership is influence is that anyone that can influence is immediately a leader. Does that make sense? And this is all part of that ongoing argument. The discussion is ongoing. There's no winner so far. It's just something you have to understand as you touch leadership. Now, why are they saying so? What they are saying so is, if I was planning to go to Lagos, and then you came along and made me go to, there's no harm intended by this illustration, and you made me go to Aba, in case you are from here, I don't mean Lagos is better than Aba, but say I was planning to go to Aba, let me equalize it, and then you made me go to Lagos. You have definitely influenced me, but the question is whether that was where I was going in the first place. So you see that word mutual is pointing out the grounds that makes, as we will study the subject, influence, not manipulation. This is where we are going, to a better Nigeria, for example. If it is agreed upon by all that where we are going to is a better Nigeria, then it has immediately become a mutual goal. It's something that you want and I want. So the tools of influence or anything I use within this capacity will no longer be viewed as manipulation, since that's where we are going in the first place. So what the leader is doing is influencing us in the direction we should go. You know, a story of biblical proportions, and of course found in the scriptures. That will be the Bible. You have to clarify which one among many faiths, but that will be the Christian Bible. But in there you'll find the story of Moses and the children of Israel crossing the Red Sea. It's not manipulation if you know that that's the direction you should take. What I'm saying is that with Pharaoh's army behind them, with forward march, it's not difficult to accept the leadership that provides the authority, because anywhere but here. Do you understand? Now, if somebody stands up in that situation and says, okay, let's start charging, he said, which way? He said, towards that same place where the mutual hope is escape from Egypt. So anybody who provides direction, any leadership in that direction is the one who will vote in 2019. Basically, it's in that environment. Good to see you, sir. It's in that environment that you you basically know that this is